Welcome back, artists. Today we are going to get started on our painted circle weavings by painting our plate. Plates are completed, but there's a two-step process. Today we're going to start by painting the background. So we're going to paint the colors in the background today, and then we'll be adding the patterns on top. There's a couple things to remember when you are working on your plate today. You're expected to do 3 to 5 colors, and you're expected to keep this sort of concentric circle design. So it looks sort of like a bullseye. And you're encouraged to mix some colors. The first step in this project is to write your name and class code on the back. And then we're gonna flip it over. Your painting supplies will include liquid watercolor paints. So we have blue, yellow, and red. These are only 3 colors. You could just do blue, yellow, and red, but if you want to do more, you will want to mix. It's important that when you mix, that you still leave yellow, red, and blue so that you can use those colors too. I'm gonna start by scooping up some yellow and moving it to another spot. I'll just use this one right here. And to help get the paint off of my brush, you notice how I'm sort of scraping it on the edge, so then it sort of drips into that well. So I'm going to take a couple of scoops, that's like 3 or 4. Now I want to make green, because green is my favorite color, but I don't want to just take my brush with yellow on it and put it in the blue. I do want to clean it out first. So I'm just in the bottom of my container, I'm tapping on the bottom, separating my bristles to get that yellow out. And then I'm going to take some paper towel and make sure that my paintbrush is dry. This is watercolor, so generally you could leave some water on your brush. But what I have found is if you have water on your brush, then the paint tends to run on your plate. Now I did 4 scoops of yellow, and I'm just going to put a little bit of blue in there. Do you see how it's just on the tip of my brush, not even halfway up? And I'm going to take that blue and I'm going to mix it with the yellow. And you see how dark that yellow has gotten? The blue is a really strong color compared to the yellow. So it takes very little blue to change the yellow to green. Again, I'm scraping off my brush, or if I'm ready to paint, I could just go ahead and paint. I think I want my green to be on the outside, and it's best to start on the inside when we paint, so I'm going to be cleaning out my brush so that I can start with a different color. Now that my paints are made, I am ready to start painting. I'm gonna start in the center, okay? So I wanna pick whatever color I want to have in the center. I want to start with a circle. So I'm going to do the outside of where I would like this to go, and then I can fill in a little bit quicker. So notice how I'm going really slow on the edge. And then once I'm finished with my edge, I can go quicker in the middle. Now, one of the ways to make a nice smooth edge, right, this is one of our goals, is to just put your paintbrush down and pull it along, okay? So notice how the bristles stay on the paper. Sometimes I see friends kind of do this sort of a thing, doing their best, but it's really, really hard to make that smooth. So I would encourage you to put your brush down and just pull it along. And it's also okay to turn your paper to really try and get that edge nice and smooth. We are also using watercolors, which tend to run together if they're next to wet. So instead of painting right next to my purple right now, so I'm gonna leave some white, and then I'm going to paint my next color. So I'm going to do yellow next, but I'm leaving a space so that I can put another color down. And I think I think my yellow is going to be kind of thick. I'm going to go almost to the curve here, and I'm just going to slowly go around. I'm doing my best to try to keep this the same distance. If it gets a little bit thicker or thinner, it's not a big deal. Right, I want a nice bold color. Again, I'm pulling my brush along. Taking my time, going a little bit quicker on the inside. Do you also see how I'm turning my paper? So I'm always sort of painting in the same space, and using the same brush strokes. You're gonna work from the inside to the outside. Once you get to the outside, you'll go back in and paint these so that the paint has a little bit of time to dry so they're not blending together.